Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So what we're going to be doing tonight is a little bit of a wash and talk. This is the first wash that I've done in about 3 weeks actually. It looks pretty clean on camera, but once you get up close and actually see it in person, it's fairly dirty. We've had a lot of rain the past couple weeks, so anytime that I did get a chance to wash it, it was going to rain the next day. So I ended up just leaving it dirty and then just waited for the weather to clear up. So I had a good chance to actually do a thorough wash. So we're gonna do one in the garage tonight. And I figure I'd do a little bit of an update on the sale of the STI and kind of what I'm gonna be doing next and just kind of fill you guys in. But we'll see where the video takes me. We all know how these wash and chats go. Kind of just start chatting about whatever comes to mind. So we'll see what we come up with. But let me go ahead, let's get started on the wheels. I always start at the driver's front here. So we'll get this knocked out and yeah, so let's have a little chat. All right guys, so what's up? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a nice weekend. So the main thing I want to talk about in this video is just obviously the update of what I'm doing with my STI, because I think the last actually wash and talk I did, I was talking about actually listing this car for sale and what I planned on doing next. So I kind of want to update you guys on that since I had some time to think about it and figure out what I wanted to do. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. The first thing I want to talk about was actually my last video about the new 2022 STI. It's really funny hearing people's comments, thinking I'm clickbaiting them and telling them the wrong information and all that, when simply that is the only information that we have. And that's kind of just the newest and latest secret that has come out, I guess. I know there's the S4 variant. I know there's Japan models and everything, but that's just all we know. I understand that the US may get a little bit less in terms of power and all that. So, I just want to make people aware that I'm not just trying to clickbait them and make a video and tell them lies. I'm simply just, sharing the news that I was able to come across and find out and everything with everybody else, just so just like you guys would find out the information. All I'm doing is just making a video and making people aware of what's going on and what other people know. So now that we talked about that real quickly, let's talk about the plans for this car. So as I mentioned in my last wash and talk, I mentioned that I was selling this and I was getting an F80 M3, and that was that. And then a lot of people, even after saying that, even after I said that I wasn't 100% sure that's definitely what I was going to do, and it was just kind of a first initial thought and just seeing what happens and kind of putting the offer out there, everyone got super mad at me for still modifying this car when I said that I was possibly selling it. I thought that was pretty funny because nobody bought this car and it's still mine and I'm still enjoying it, and part of enjoying it is modifying it. So I found that part really funny. People were just getting mad at me for making videos for you guys about the different parts I was putting on the car. But yeah, I did a lot of thinking about what I was going to do next, because it always seems to happen. Anytime that you want to sell something or think about selling something, and then you go out and enjoy that specific thing, somehow it always feels better, sounds better, drives better, looks better. And that's kind of the same thing that happened with the STI here. I said I wanted to sell it. I was really thinking about it, and then I've been driving it obviously, and it's literally never driven better. It's made me happier than it ever has, and it was a good indication that it just wasn't time to get rid of this car just yet. So I really started thinking about what I wanted to do. I was like, you know what? There's got to be a way where I'm able to get something else while keep the STI, and then maybe down the road pick up an F80 while I'm able to still keep the STI. So while I would love to just, go all out and just say, hey, I'm keeping the STI and I'm buying an F80, it just doesn't make sense right now, especially because that's a 4-door.
manual sports car. It's basically the same kind of car as this. Obviously, I know it's different. It would function the same as this car. So, in my mind, I want cars that have a job. Each car has a specific job, and having two four-door sedans, manual sedans, just doesn't make sense. So after doing some thinking and realizing that it just wasn't time to let go of the STI just yet, I started thinking of daily driver or second car, something that I can use, and then I could keep this in the garage and keep it looking this good and continue to modify it, continue to do what I love doing on this car, and making it the best version, the best STI for me, not for anybody else, but solely for me. I came up with a few options, and I kind of wanted to go over them just to kind of explain my viewpoint and what's going to work best for me in my life, not just for YouTube, because we all know YouTube is just a hobby of mine. It's just something that I do on the side, and for my own enjoyment. It's not something that I rely on for income, or I'm putting all my eggs in one basket to become a YouTuber or anything like that. You guys know that's not my intentions. If it does happen, then that's what happens, but that's not my goal here. So I started thinking, I was like, all right, if I'm going to use that extra monthly income on, an F80 M3, which would have been another, $400, $500, $600 a month or so, for a car payment, I was like, man, that is a pretty sweet second car. Why not keep the STI and use that extra monthly payment on another car? And that really opened the door for me. It really got me thinking about what I could possibly do with that extra, monthly payment. So I was like, all right, man, cool. I can maybe pick up an E92 M3 or another E46 M3 or an E36 and just make that a really fun, track car, track weekend car. And I started thinking, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. The STI is so nice. I want to keep it nice. I want the STI to be the fun weekend car. I've already got it set up the way I want it to be. Getting a two-door, track-oriented weekender kind of car doesn't make sense as a daily, especially where I live in New Jersey and being a dad and everything. I'd want something that kind of, it's multifunctional. Like I can use it as a daily driver. I can use it as a family hauler. I can use it as a, make content with it as well, which would be a plus. Obviously that's not a motivation to get anything. I'm sure most of you would enjoy another car on the channel, for my own enjoyment, obviously, but just making content on that, I think you guys would, enjoy a different type of car or brand on there. So thinking about obviously getting something that, another M car and an STI would be pretty sweet. But it just doesn't make sense for me. Like I said, I'm a dad, and I work full time and everything, and I live in New Jersey where we do get some pretty inclement weather in the winter. So having something rear-wheel drive based as a daily driver just doesn't really make sense. While yes, it would be fun, content would probably be great for the channel, but I'm not going to buy anything that just doesn't make sense for me and my lifestyle. So then I started thinking a little bit more practical, and I was like, oh man, how about like a GTI? GTIs, I've always loved them. That would be a great daily driver. It's great on gas. Obviously, smaller, but it has a little hatchback, so I'm able to fit what I need to fit. I can fit my kids in the back and everything when I need to take them to school and and whatnot. And it'd be a really, really fun daily driver. But then again, it doesn't make sense. I already have a fun four-door car, and getting like another SUV doesn't make sense either, since we have the Telluride for the family. I just don't want to be redundant and get the same car and just have the same purpose and never drive it. I want something that's, going to help me in my life and my family as well, because that's what's most important. So next thing came to mind was I've always wanted a small pickup. Having something super functional as a small pickup for, being a homeowner is extremely practical. I can't even remember how many times I've actually needed a pickup to haul stuff, to pick stuff up, to help a friend out or something, and I just couldn't because I didn't have the space to do whatever it is I needed to do. And, there's been multiple times when I had to borrow friends' pickups and stuff, when I had to do, bulk pickups or whatever, something from Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever. And, it just, I always said that I wanted to get like a pickup for that reason alone. And then I was like, man, I've always wanted a Tacoma. Tacomas to me are like, I don't know, something about them. I absolutely love them. I love the way they look, and you can do some pretty cool mods to them. And I don't know, something about them just really does it for me. And that would just serve such a good purpose for my life. And the reason for that is because, like I said, I can haul stuff around if I ever needed to. I can tow, small stuff if I need to. I can bring my kids to school. I can drive in any type of snow. I don't have to worry about, ground clearance or anything like that. So it's extremely practical. It's probably better on gas than this is, to be honest. I had to get regular gas as well, where this you need to get premium. But even so, that I would still probably get premium either way. But it would probably be better on gas, and just overall much more practical daily driver. Now, I don't need something super great on gas or anything like that, because my commute is very, very short. When I did have the Outback as my daily, it was nice to not have to go to the gas station every 5 to 9 days or so. So a Tacoma really, really got me excited about doing, or getting one at least, and doing like a small build on the channel for it. Literally, by build I mean like wheels and tires, some cool lighting, exterior lighting, basic stuff like that. Obviously the detailing would stick around as well on that, because I would take care of it just as well as I take care of this. But it really got me excited, and so I started talking to a few dealers and seeing what's going on. Now, right now, to buy a car is just wild. What they're asking compared to what they used to about 2 years ago is crazy, just because they can't get new cars in, and they're doing a better job selling used cars. But so I'm kind of weighing my options of what I want to do here, whether to pick up something used, or lease a brand new one or something. That I don't know yet. I know where I want to be in terms of payment and just what I want to spend, but I don't know. It's I'm kind of shopping around, talking to different dealers right now, trying to get an idea of what's going to work best for me. And right now, in terms of the trim level that I'm looking at an SR5 or a TRD off-road. I would love a TRD Pro, but they're fetching like 50, 60 grand right now. And I don't want to spend that on a Tacoma. I'd rather get an F80 M3 and just suck it up. But yeah, I'm looking at like an SR5 or a TRD Pro, which is right around like 37, 38, 40-ish. So it's fairly reasonable. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that, but it's doable for me. So yeah, I think that's the direction I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hang on to the STI, and enjoy it more, continue to modify it. You guys are probably like, what else is there to modify in the car? There's still plenty to do. Still plenty more things that I would love to do this, and plus it would give me that opportunity, or having a daily driver again, and keeping this in the garage and not having to rush to get something done. So if there's a longer term modification that I want to do, I don't have to rush to get it done in a weekend. So there is a plus to that as well. So I'm really looking forward to picking one up. Now, it is not set in stone. It's not something that I'm 100% on, but it's definitely something that makes the most sense right now for me, and I guess what makes me the most excited. So I definitely foresee one coming in the near future. I'm hoping to pick one up before, I guess, the end of the year, before winter comes, before we actually start getting snow and getting some bad weather, because I really don't want to drive this in the snow and salt and everything. It's too nice. I've done, we all know that STIs are fantastic in the snow. I've driven this in the snow plenty of times. I've driven my old WRX in 12 feet of snow before, and I've had a great time. So it's not about the ability of this car. It's just everything I've done to it. I love it so much. I care for it way too much to really just kind of get it beat up in the winter. And it's also another thing, I'm not worried about me driving it. I'm more so worried about others ruining it for me, because We all know that everybody on the road is a terrible driver except for yourself. So I'm more afraid of other drivers doing something to the car that's out of my control and just ruining it for me. I'd rather keep this home under the car cover clean and take it out on nice days. So I know a lot of people are going to ask what foam do I use or what soap. I use Kachemi GSF. Absolutely love this stuff. I recently switched over from Adams. I've been using Adams for, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And then I just recently switched over to this. I believe it's pronounced Kachemi, I don't know how to say it. But GSF, Gentle Snow Foam. Comes in a small bottle. It's fairly expensive. I think it's like 35 bucks just for this. But honestly, this stuff is amazing. I absolutely love it. Just the overall slickness of it and how it holds on, and it just gets so thick. Adams is great. I love Adams, but I've completely converted. I don't think I'm using any Adams products anymore. I used to use pretty much all exclusively Adams. I'm using a lot of PNS and Kachemi and a few other things as well, but pick up some GSF. I'll leave it in the link below if you guys are interested. Also, another question that I get every single time I wash my car in the garage, you know, how do you wash your car in the garage? Does it smell? Where's the water go? Well, my garage is properly pitched from the house to the driveway. So as you can see, it's all wet outside. It just runs through the actual channels of the Swiss tracks and just runs right out. So the water just flows out, and I've never had any problems washing in the garage. I've been doing it for 5 years now in here, and I've had zero problems and zero issues, and it just runs right out. So yeah, so you can wash your car in the garage if you have Swiss tracks and your garage is properly pitched. Obviously, if you have a drain in the center of the garage, that helps as well. But for me, for a budget-friendly, you know, kind of wash bay garage area, this works just fine, and I've had zero problems. So let's get to washing the car and continue our chat. So yeah, Tacoma is probably the way I'm gonna go. Now, don't hold me to it. It could change. I can, you know, end up picking something else up, or you know, what have you. I'm not some typical YouTuber where I'm just like, yep, I'm getting that and it's here tomorrow. You know, I'm just an average Joe, just like all you guys. So it takes me a little bit to decide on things and kind of figure things out and, you know, get things going. But either way, that is where my mind is at currently. So yes, the STI is staying for at least a little while. Now, the offer is still on the table if somebody is interested and, you know, they're willing to pay my asking, which again, I'm not saying on here because it's subject to change. But for now, I'm hanging on to it, continuing to mod it, continuing to drive it, and then hopefully picking up a Tacoma as my daily driver and do a small build on that in the future. Hopefully before this year ends, we can get that done. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I think that's honestly the best route to go for me. And hopefully you guys are excited to see a Tacoma build on the channel, a small one. I know I am. A lot of my friends are actually, I don't want to say a lot of them, but a few of them are, you know, off-road people. So we can do some off-road, not vlogs, but videos. And, you know, I think that'd be fun, do some adventuring and enjoying the outdoors in our trucks. So yeah, I was saying that mods are still coming for this car. I still have a few things on the way, actually. I actually picked up a very rare JDM Bro piece that is very hard to come by these days because the company that makes them doesn't make them anymore. They actually went out of business. And the company I'm talking about is actually Password JDM. They don't make parts anymore, unfortunately. And there's one piece, I've already kind of talked about it on the channel. There's one piece that I was missing in the engine bay, and I actually have that on the way, coming this week, I think. That'll be a video in itself, just going over that piece and, you know, kind of cleaning it up and getting it protected and everything like I do all my other parts that I do on this car. And also, I'm headed up to my shop, RT Tuning, in a couple weeks actually, to get the suspension sorted out. If you guys are not aware, my front coilovers on my Fortune Autos, the collars are seized, and I wanted to go lower almost a year ago now, geez. Just kind of a touch lower in the front, but I wasn't able to break those collars loose. I actually picked up new locking collars, so they're going to go ahead and get that done for me. I think they're just going to probably cut them off. I would do it myself, but that makes me a little nervous, so I'm just going to go there. And either way, I have to go there to get an alignment after I lower it a little bit, so I figure I might as well just go there, get everything knocked out, and then go a little bit lower in the front. Because if you can kind of see, it's kind of hard from this angle. There's about a really tight 1 finger gap in the front, and the rear, it's really, there's no finger gap. So I'm looking to go as low in the rear, in the front, just to kind of bump it down a little bit, get a little bit more aggressive look, and it would make me really happy. Plus, again, a much more aggressive alignment to, handling a little bit better. And plus, I don't have to worry as much about what tire wear, since this is not going to be a daily driver anymore. So I can really dial in the fitment and get it looking exactly the way I want it. And I still need to put on the Titanium Works titanium axle nuts as well. I'm going to be doing that this week, I think. One of the, as I mentioned, one of the things about modifying a car, a daily driver during the week, is if something goes wrong, you're kind of screwed the next day and getting to work, and the car is down and everything. So I don't know if I'm going to do that next weekend and just kind of wait or what, but I still have to put those on. Those things are beautiful. I can't wait to get them on. Now, over winter or next season, I guess what I plan on doing, if you guys are curious, which I'm sure you are, first thing I want to do is get a matching passenger Recaro Sportster GT. You guys know I have the driver's side, and I never did the passenger side because it used to be a daily driver, and my wife used to go in the car with me, and I didn't want to remove the airbag on that side for safety reasons and everything. Plus, it's like $2,000 for the seat and the bracket each side. So I already have my driver's side done, so it's just a matter of getting the passenger. So I want to get a matching passenger. And I was also even thinking about selling my rear STI back seats, because I don't like the red accent, and I was thinking about swapping with a WRX just to get rid of all the red and just make it all black. So it'll be really nice with the Recaro GTs. It'd be really stealth looking, really clean. I think it would fit this build really well. So I'm thinking about doing that as well. And I'm kind of unsure. I mean, I know I want to, but I definitely would like to change up the wheels to some Volk ZE40s. Those are my dream wheels on this car. And I almost got them one season, but I ended up pulling out and getting a different set of wheels because they were taking too long to come in. I know I got impatient, but I'm looking to finally pick a really nice setup. Same spec as this, just obviously a different wheel. But I would definitely like to do that. So we'll see. It's really hard to get wheels right now, especially from Japan or anywhere international. It's just crazy. Obviously, all this stuff would be next year. I think I'm fairly done modifying it for this year. I'm just going to enjoy it, drive it, wash it, care for it, do little things here and there that I want to get done. But for the most part, the bigger things, I'm going to wait until 2022 and get that stuff done. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have planned for next year. Also, I was kind of thinking about doing a wing. I don't like the APR, the giant wing that everybody does. I'm not a big fan of that look. The one that I do like is the Varish GT style. So I don't know if I'm going to go through with it, but one of the things that I do like about it is that it uses the stock STI wing mounts, or the wing holes in the trunk, so you don't have to do any extra drilling, at least on the outside. So it just bolts right up into the existing holes, so I can swap back and forth from that wing to the STI wing if I so choose. But I don't know, I really do like the stock STI wing, but it might be something I may entertain next year and see if we can get it done. Or definitely something to think about for sure, because this is such a clean build. I don't know if I want to go too crazy with an even bigger wing in the back, but it would be fun. It's kind of like the hood. While I really did enjoy it, it just didn't fit the build as well as the stock hood with the carbon hood scoop that I just put on. Now, I know a lot of you are probably going to ask, are you ever going to build a motor on the side or build this motor or what? I don't know. I really don't know if I'm going to go that far. Maybe down the road. And if I did it, I'd probably do, you know, like an IAG stage 2 or 2.5 or something. Build it on the side and not have to worry about, you know, this car being down. So whenever that motor is ready, you know, just throw it in or something. But, you know, that is way down the line if I really decide to hang on to this for a long, long time, because that is a large investment to put into a car if you plan on not keeping it for a while. But we'll see. I mean, that, like I said, that's down the line. It would be cool to do that. I've never built a motor in my cars before, so it'd be a first for me. Granted, I would probably have a shop do it. I never experienced a full rebuilt motor in a car before. All right, so I was halfway, not even halfway. I only got the front clip basically dried off with the leaf blower. So I'm gonna let it charge up a little bit. I've been meaning to get a second battery for this thing, my Greenworks leaf blower that I use to dry the car, but I haven't yet. I don't know why. I've had it for years. So I'm gonna let it charge up a bit before I start putting bead maker on and wiping down the back half of the car. I'm gonna start with the front. You get that all dried up with a fresh layer of bead maker. Really, really nice. The stock hood, I ceramic coated that before I stored it away when I got the carbon hood. So it's absolutely perfect. It's beating like crazy. The water just runs right off of it. It's pretty amazing. I mean, the whole car is like that, but a fresh ceramic coated hood is always great. Plus the carbon hood scoop as well is freshly ceramic coated. So really, really nice to watch that thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go around and dry it off with some bead maker, and then we can wrap the video up. Guys, finished up with the wash. This actually was a much later wash than I'm normally used to. It's actually midnight right now. I got to go in and edit this for tomorrow, but the car turns out beautiful every single time. I love lapis blue. I love that I ceramic coated it. It really, it's on a whole other level. And every single time I wash it, it gets this clean very easily. You know, you really don't have to do much. So again, I think I say this every single wash and chat. If you never ceramic coated your car, please, please give it a chance. Check it out, try it out. It honestly is a life changer. The car looks beautiful every single time, and it just stays looking this good all the time. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys are all caught up with my thought process and what I'm doing with the car and everything. And I hope you guys are as excited as I am for the future for this channel and for this car and for anything else that comes. I'm really looking forward to kind of showing you guys the continued journey of the STI, as well as anything else that I get in the future, hopefully a Tacoma soon. And yeah, hope you follow along. And that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, be sure to ask them below. In the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.